Hi guys, welcome to Boxing Blog Center, the home of Nigerian and African boxing. Please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you guys like and of course the subscribe button right now. I want to first of all give a shout out to Ronald Finkley. Bro, what's up? How you doing, bro? You've been a huge supporter of BBC, man. Like, I mean, it's something like this support that you guys are giving me right now. I wasn't expecting it, especially from my brothers from America. You know, it's crazy how I battled with the ADBC just to, I battled with them because they were trying to close down my channel. I just heard recently I got some inside info that 78 Post TV, like there is fire on the mountain in the ADBC. Like, so crazy, man. Those guys are wicked, I tell you that. By the way, before I start the show, get your copy of Raphael Akpajore t-shirt right here. You see right here, I'm wearing this, what I'm wearing right now. And then Nigerian flag right here. I love this t-shirt so much, and it's something I'm gonna be wearing each time I do my show till further notice. Get your copy right now. Get your copy right now. How do you get a copy? Easy. DM me on Instagram at Boxing Blog Center. You see me there. I'm right there. Or you can also search for me on. You can also check me out on Facebook if you use Facebook. Raymond Ogbaide. I don't know if you guys can spell the last name Ogbaide. It's easy to spell. OGBEIDE. Ogbaide. So, which means family never falls apart in my language. Deep. That's a deep meaning. And my surname goes back to 2,000 years already. I checked it. The seventh Ogiso of Igudumigudo. That time it wasn't known as, it wasn't known as Benin. It was known as Igudumigudo. Idu, from Idu to Igudumigudo. And the seventh Ogiso, King of the Sky, was named Ogbaide. It has my family lineage. It has a long lineage, I tell you, 2,000 years plus. Now let's talk about this, man. Shout out to my brother Joseph Ajayi. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? What did I saw on your side, brother? I like the support, man. Ajayi always on point, always come and support. Well, it's breaking news, bro. But before we start breaking all these things down, before we start breaking this down, we're gonna, of course, look at what Eddie Hearn said about Lawrence Okoli. Okay, I'm going to definitely let our brother come in. I'm going to call them. Oh, bro, it says shared already. Shout out to you, bro, Ronald Finkley. Please keep liking and keep liking and keep liking. Up in the likes, man. Up the likes, man. Let's get it. So let's of course take a look at it right here. Eddie Hearn answering some few questions. But before that, let me put my glasses. So this was, of course, Eddie Hearn in Gibraltar. We know the fight that took place and all that. It was a very good fight. And people asking the question, 30 minutes, Eddie Hearn answering question 30 minutes before his flight to Kazakhstan. Yeah, he said, someone asked him, who will Joshua Buatsi fight next? And when do you expect he will fight for a world title? Eddie Hearn responded by saying, JB just teamed up with Virgil Hunter, which you already know. He will fight May 15, then jump in a big one. I'm expecting it. Boatsi is someone to watch out for. It's going to be a problem. Okay, it's going to be a problem. Boatsi, and him teaming up with Virgil Hunter, like in my opinion, like is a great move. Okay, I don't like if you want to become a world class fighter. Except you are to Joshua. Only Joshua has been able to really make it to the top without using an American coach. I guess Joshua is just special. I guess. So Now, the next question, right? You can see this guy has. He said, when are you giving us the location of the biggest fight of the century? Looking to lock in this week. You see, Dillian White versus Andy Ruiz. Well, Eddie Hearn responded by saying, absolutely love that fight. A big fight. Eddie Hearn love money, man. It knows the love money to be made that fight. What's next for Lawrence Okoli? I mean, I'm very much invested in Lawrence Okoli because he's a fighter that I respect, and he came to the show. You know, I always, anybody that knows me, listen, bro. That's why him being a Nigerian, but he came to the show. He didn't let us. He didn't say, oh, like I've got too much pride. No, those wanna be Nigerians or what, But he's not like that. The guy is legit. So I like let's call him, man. So and then he said he has a mandatory with WBO, but also wants to unify ASAP. Oh my God, mandatory game. I don't know, man. I think it would be a waste of time for Lawrence Okoli to fight to get a mandatory fight. Like I just think it would be a waste of time in a way, in my opinion. Shout out to Big Joe 12 in the house. He said, "Great, keep it up, BBC." Well, bro, thanks a lot. Hope you've hit that like button right now already. I appreciate you, bro. It has mandatory, man. A little bit disappointed there, but we'll see though. I would love to see Okoli fight Maurice British or Iluga Makabo. It'd be nice. We had Dust Cheeseman versus Metcalf rank in the best fights you've ever watched live. Was fantastic. Ted Box brilliant, and JJ so brave. Big nights ahead for both. When Conor Ben beats Vargas, is the Venetian fight next? All eyes on Vargas. Will be a war, definitely. Your best promoter in the game. Was the limit to your ceiling? You're only ever limited by your own imagination. That's a nice talk from it here. When's Babbage back in action, and who with Ed? I like Babbage versus Webb for Fight Camp. Big fight there. I would love to see that as well. But I think it's gonna be. I think Nick Webb might just nicked it, bro. He might nicked it because I don't think Babbage should move forward right now. Like I don't think he should fight because I heard that he recently sustained an injury, so I think he should just don't rush his comeback. What's happening with Estrada Shoka and Shoka? I mean Chocolatito and Rung Visai. Trying to put together Estrada versus Shock and Rung Visai versus Quadras. Double header. Damn, it's crazy. When with Tommy McCarthy next fight. And Tennyson scheduling both for May. Nice. Thoughts on Chisora teaming up with Buddy Magid? Oh, another one. Great link up, Buddy. Great trainer. Egovic versus Hunter heading for Paul's bids. Man, I know I watched an interview of Mike. Like I watched it today. Michael Hunter speaking with what's his name again? With Ness of the Boxing Voice, and saying that listen, he's probably gonna go to Paul's bid. Eddie Hearn has made the offer. Michael Hunter wants to go to Paul's bid because Michael Hunter wants to get the thriller money. That's the reason why. Bro, it's interesting though. Date for Racing versus Spawns. Working on date in June. You doing another fight camp at Matchroom HQ? Yes. Plans on the way. Going to be huge. Very interesting. How far do you think Campbell Arton will go? Loads of potential, needs lots of time to develop. When we announcing upper fight the end of this week, it is moving mad, bro. Like it's crazy. What's next for Dalton Smith? Back in May, usually ahead. And yeah, it's our brother Efetobo Apochi. Akbajare's training though. Akbajare's fight has been rescheduled though. I don't know if you guys know about this, but his fight has been rescheduled, and yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, what do I make of this? Joshua Fury site deal is said to be locked in. It's gonna be locked in this week, according to Eddie Hearn. You know that they have up to April 28, right, to get a site deal locked in. If not, the deal might go away. But I'm hopeful though that Eddie Hearn will deliver. But I'm not. One thing I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm a little bit skeptical of Tyson Fury's team. How serious are they? Like, I just watched an interview recently with an interview of John Fury saying that with or without Anthony Joshua, they're gonna move forward regardless. So this is like already showing, like, bro, this like this is already showing something we a lot of people have been like kind of imagining, or or putting in mind and all those stuff. So it's gonna be very interesting, like, in a way. Shout out to Big Joe. He said, "Please BBC, when is Ajagba fighting again? He has been too silent. I expect him to go up by now in the ranking." Ajagba will be fighting April 9th, or April 9th of April. Next week. Okay, next week Saturday, Ajagba will be back. Akpejare is going to be fighting this upcoming weekend. Okay, I'm gonna be. I've told Akpejare already. Like, listen, how can I watch the fight? He said that they switched the event. So it's a very lesson, bro. In this game, anybody can be dangerous. Okay, anybody can be dangerous, because we just saw what Steven Adeton did to. I mean, what that guy Ruskas from. He's not from. I don't know where he's from. I think from Sweden or something. I don't know where he's from. Did to Steven Adeton. Although Adeton and Akpejare are different. Akpejare is a 6'9" heavyweight monster. Okay. Adeton, I think Adeton made a very huge mistake in that fight. I've watched it, but I'm yet to react to it. Adeton made a very huge mistake. He was boxing as if he's a guru. He's a boxing guru. Adeton was not like he was boxing as if he's been boxing for. I mean, he's been in the game for like ages, or he's in Joshua's he's in Joshua's league or something like that. I understand he's sparred Joshua many times, but he should have boxed with his hands up. You have to like protect yourself at all times, and he was boxing with his hands down, and he got caught. And somebody told me that, hey, maybe his chin is weak. I don't know about that. I just think he felt he boxed too comfortable. He went in there thinking it's gonna be easy work, and with the boxing with his hands down was not a good thing at all. Like, I mean, it's what it is, man. I hope he bounces back. When you lose like that to a guy with 2 losses, only 1 wins on his record, a guy is not even up to like Adeton has been. Like, he's not a guy that's been boxing since he was 6 or something. Or the guy that came into boxing late, but at the same time, he did well as an amateur. He knocked a lot of people out. So it's just what happens. Shout out to CMD Boxing Report. What's up, bro? What's up? How you doing, brother? So I'm going to definitely call our brother right now. I'm going to call them right now to give their take on this. This is, of course, a big news. Tyson Fury, Joshua side deal. Okay, is gonna be finalized this week. Okay, remember Matchroom and Top Rank have up till April 28th or something like that to finalize the deal. Okay. And Eddie Hearn is already putting in a lot of work, and I really do appreciate Eddie Hearn what he's doing, man. So we can't wait, bro. Let me call our brother and stay tuned, guys. Brother back. Oh, we have a Truth Son in the house. Let me see. Truth Son says, "You can't take most things Fury says seriously. Master Fenters, John Fury said, I have the video. We are chameleon people, man. Yes. Do I like? Yeah, you can't take it, but at the end, he's saying it right now. But if John Fury is not giving me the vibe, it seems like it doesn't seem like he wants this fight for his son. But I don't understand. I mean, if Fury loses to Joshua, I mean, it's not the end of the world, Like, you still got so many things out there too, so many people out there to fight or can easily retire as well, So let's allow our brother right here and see what they're up to. Stay tuned, guys. Hello, bro. What's up? Anthony. What's up, bro? Alpha.
Hello, Ray.
Oh, Robbie.
Yes,
Hey,
man.
brother. Oh, my. Glad to have you here,
Yes.
bro. Whoa. Robbie. Robbie T. Robbie T.
Glad I'm on the call. I'm glad I'm on the call, guys.
Robbie T. Man, glad you have you here, bro. Like, I was expecting you.
Yeah.
Usually, you already at work or something like that.
Yeah,
you still work-
yeah. I finished
you
a little early today.
Yeah, you still working. Like, I was like, wow. I mean, when you got, I was like, whoa. I wasn't expecting this, bro.
I didn't even get to speak to you about the fight of the weekend, so I was glad to get on this call, man.
Man, good. Okay. Shoot, bro. Shoot. We listening. Shoot.
Who else is on the line? Who else is on the call?
We have Anthony on the line. I think the rest are gonna come in soon. I spoke.
Okay.
I spoke with Jagwe today. If he's
Okay.
available, he's gonna be in. He's gonna get in. But by the way, I don't know if you know. About this deal right here that just got finalized. Joshua Wahab, Nigeria's best defensive fighter, signed a 3-year promotional deal with Lou DiVella. And
Yes.
of course, he's going to be relocating to America he lives in Ghana. He's going to be relocating to America very soon to join,
Okay.
to collide or attempts to collaborate or to link up with, to be trained, to be tutored, to be monitored, to be, improved, pre-proved
course.
by
Yeah.
Manny Robles, legendary Manny Robles, bro.
Manny Robles.
Wow. That's amazing, bro. Like,
Okay.
I'm so listen, bro. I'm so happy for this guy. Listen, bro. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for him, bro. Like, you can't even you won't understand why I'm happy.
I understand, man.
Emma
That's
Dotton will understand that because I remember where he was just 2 years ago, bro. Damn it! Like
Yes,
a fellow Nigerian almost ruined his career.
You see?
I'm telling you
That's
right
a good
now,
move.
a
That's
fellow
good. That's good.
fellow Nigerian almost ruined his career before I got in. He got in touch with me, and now everything is like because the people are seeing their potential. They see his potential. They say, man, damn, this guy's good. Man. 20,
Well, that's good.
20 wins,
That's good.
13
That's
knockouts.
Wow, that's good. Because you see, sometimes a move to America is always a good thing because, well, not always, but sometimes it can be a good thing because, he stay in Nigeria and he might just become a very, very good Nigerian heavyweight, but never really
No,
break
he's not.
onto
He's
the
not.
scene.
He's not an heavyweight. He's a super featherweight.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, he's a super featherweight. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
super
good.
featherweight. We have an heavyweight in Nigeria right now. I think his name is Christian Timothy, but he's he's still an amateur, like amateur. He didn't amateur, So he is of course he looks good, physique wise he's like he's a giant for sure, but boxing wise not even there yet. But I think he will improve.
Well, that's a good move. That's a good move. I read your article also that that Eddie Hearn is going to make the announcement or about the location.
Yeah,
of the
Eddie Hearn said the Joshua Fury side deal will be locked in this week. You know, they have till April 28th, something like that, to finalize a deal side day. If it's not, because the Team Fury has to approve it. You know,
Yes, of course.
not just Joshua alone, or Chief Fury has to approve it. So it's so amazing, though. Like, continue, bro.
It is good. It is good. And I'm thinking, I hope that they don't cause any obstruction, but whatever the location, I think Fury and his team should just take it, because it's not going to be a bad location, wherever it is. You know what I mean? I think wherever the fight is held, it's going to be in a nice stadium or a nice arena somewhere. It won't be in England, but it's still going to be a nice venue. You know what I mean? So I don't think they should let something like the venue hold up the negotiations anymore, because I don't think if it was down to Anthony Joshua, I mean, wherever Eddie Hearn says to him, look, the fight is gonna be, this is where we're looking at. I'm sure if it's Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, Anthony Joshua would just say, look, let's get the fight on. Really, what I'm interested in is getting that final piece of the jigsaw, which is that WBC belt. I don't really care where the fight is held. You know what I mean? I would have loved it to be in London, but it's not going to be in London. So I don't care where it is, really. I just want Fury in the ring so I can beat him and take the belt. I think that's Joshua's attitude. I don't know if Fury has quite the same attitude, you know, but we'll see. We'll see when it's announced what both parties have to say. It'd be interesting, I think.
By the way, you of course you watched the Dylan White Povetkin rematch. What do you make of that?
Yes, I did. I did. Yes. I thought it was more one-sided than I thought it would be. I didn't, to be honest. All right, I don't want to take anything away from Dylan White, because he got the win, he got the revenge, and he also got the stoppage. You know what I mean? I was slightly disappointed that Povetkin didn't show more than he did, which was disappointing, because he knew he had the power to knock out Dylan White. So I think he could have shown us a bit more. Dylan White, you know, he fought well. He got the job done. There's not much more I could say about it, really. Does he look improved? Well, he looked better than he did, I suppose, than the previous fight. But I would have liked to see Povetkin show us a bit more. That's really all I can say on that score. Does he look like he can beat Anthony Joshua? I don't think so. But I would have just liked to see Povetkin show us a bit more, to be honest, Ray. That's the truth.
Povetkin, people are saying that, oh, he looked old, you know, in a way. I don't know if I would say I was impressed with Povetkin's performance, because it just showed, like, even from the first, like, he looked wobbly from the first round, okay?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So, but I would never take the credit, take away credit from Dylan White, because he had, listen, bro, coming from a defeat like that, I know that the likes of Mike Hunter had certain, I don't know if I should call it bias, you know, and saying that, oh, White is gonna just get knocked out, you know, I watched him. It's coming from a very salty point, in my opinion. Mike Hunter and Filip Ergovic are set to go for a pulse beat war, and Eddie Hearn, of course, confirmed it. So, anyway, what do you also make of? What do you make of Lawrence Okoli? And we want to see him fight unified next against Miles British or someone like Iluga Makabu or Guidan, that French guy. At the end, confirmed today that Okoli has a mandatory, WBO mandatory. You know, he has a mandatory. He has a mandatory, and but he wants to unify. Like, I don't understand. He just won the title right now. So what happened?
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, I know what you're saying, Ray, and I agree with you. The WBO they can be a bit strange at times, you know. Sometimes, um, as soon as the guy wins you can look at it two ways. But the WBO, sometimes when a guy wins the belt, they want to call the mandatory straight away. And if he says, well, no, I want a voluntary, they want to look to strip him of the belt. The belt he's just won. So I don't know why they do these things, because they don't even give the guy a chance to win the belt before they start announcing about mandatories. And but I think it would be good if Lawrence did take the mandatory, because for one, it will. I think he will beat the cruiserweights out there. So whoever is the mandatory, I think he will beat them. But and two, he will also get to make some money from what could possibly be an easy defense. And once the mandatory is out the way, then he has to wait another at least 12 more months before they call the next one. So you could say, well, let him get the mandatory out the way, make some money, and then they're not going to bother him again. He's free to do as he please. But I know what you mean. The WBO can be very strange at times. They want to call these mandatories straight away. I think they did the same with, I can't remember, when Joshua had that belt. Did he have to do a mandatory, or was that the IBF? Joshua's had these belts for so long, I can't remember now. But I think they did it. I can't remember if it was Joshua. They wanted to call that mandatory, and they're even doing the same now with that WBO belt that Joshua has. The only reason I think he's got out of fighting Usyk, who they've made mandatory, is because there's the undisputed fight on the cards. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they would probably be carrying on with the same kind of nonsense, saying that he has to fight Usyk straight away, or Usyk, or he'll get stripped. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand. With the WBO. But I don't think it would be a bad move for him to take the mandatory, because, you know, all right, at the end of the day, he will make some money from the fight. Probably not a lot, but he'll make some money. And I don't think whoever that mandatory is, I don't think Lawrence Okoli is very heavy-handed. He's a very hard puncher, and I think he will get that guy out of the way. I don't know if the fight will be in the UK or in Europe. He'll get some more exposure, and it will just add to his confidence, you see. But I know where you're going with this. You know, they should let the guy at least enjoy having the belt. It's only been 2 weeks since he won the thing. Oh dear.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. Shout out to our brothers and sisters right here. We have Lisa Bills in the house. Shout out to Lisa Bills. I appreciate you. And shout out to Igbeans Kevin. Afana. I'm fine. Too much.
Yes.
Now, looking at Tyson Fury's dad. Okay, you saw the interview. You saw it.
No, I haven't seen the interviewers yet. But please fill me in. What was said, on what is he saying?
Well, let me play the interview. Let me play the interview right here. See John Fury. I play right here. John Fury. Let's see. Yeah. Like John Fury said over the weekend. What have they signed? They've signed nothing in my eyes. Fury insisted that Tyson Fury needs to fight twice this year with or without Anthony Joshua. This is a ducky move. But anyway, let me play to the audience so you guys can see it, him saying it, and they'll proceed from there. And
okay.
Let me play to the audience and they can see it.
With the signatures on it, right?
Let's check it out, guys. Can you mute it, Robbie, please? So I wouldn't disturb.
Okay, hold on. Let me just mute it now. 1 second.
Okay.
Just mute it now. All right. Okay, I'm gonna mute it now.
Okay, good.
We need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no. We need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson's not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking. But I think they're dragging reels a bit because they don't want it. Don't blame them.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it, right?
What does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue? You know, what does it mean if nobody's willing to put the money up? You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that the position in your eyes at the moment?
That's the position it's in, and I don't think they can get it together. It's too big for what's happening in the climate the world's in. I need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson's not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking. But I think they're dragging reels a bit because they don't want it. Don't blame them.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it, right?
What does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue? You know, what does it mean if nobody's willing to put the money up? You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that the position in your eyes at the moment?
That's the position it's in, and I don't think they can get it together. It's too big for what's happening in the climate the world's in at the moment. And I just don't think the time is right for a fight of that magnitude with the state of the world at the minute. We need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson's not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking.
Well, you heard it, Robbie T. You heard it from John Fury himself saying that, hey, nobody has come forward yet to put up money for it. You know, this fight is not happening. You know, it doesn't matter if they sign an agreement or whatsoever. You know, bro, like, this is very discouraging as a boxing fan, and it just shows that they don't want it.
And I don't think they can get
you know?
it together.
Look,
It's too big.
right.
Hold on, bro. Let me play it one more time. Let me play one more time.
We need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson's not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking. But I think they're dragging reels a bit because they don't want it. Don't blame them.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it, right?
What does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue? You know, what does it mean if nobody's willing to put the money up? You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that the position in your eyes at the moment?
That's the position it's in, and I don't think they can get it together. It's too big for what's happening in the climate the world's in at the moment. And I just don't think the time is right for a fight of that magnitude with the state of the world at the minute. So we need to get him out.
What do you make of this, bro? Robbie T. Your Fury statement, bro.
Ray, look, let's be honest here. I wouldn't take anything that John Fury, Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury, Huey Fury, if the surname is Fury, anything come out of that mouth, I would not take seriously. Now, there was Frank Warren said a few weeks ago that he was upset, he was angry that Eddie Hearn had come out and said that the two fighters had signed. Bob Arum was upset, and because Eddie Hearn made the announcement that the two fighters had signed to go ahead with the fight, and all they're waiting for is the site deal, and they were all meant to announce it together, all this kind of thing. When I heard Eddie Hearn in an interview a couple of days after, Eddie Hearn said, look, I contacted Team Fury, right? Eddie Hearn contacted Team Fury. This is what he said in an interview with either IFL or Boxing Social. I don't know which one it was. And he said, I asked them, are you okay with us, with me making an announcement that the two fighters have signed, and all we're waiting for now is to agree the venue for the fight. And he said that Team Fury said, yeah, we're fine with that. We're fine with you making the announcement. So he said he didn't do anything that behind anyone's back. He said he actually went to Team Fury first, and they agreed it. So John Fury would have known that Eddie Hearn is going to come out and make the announcement, but he didn't bring any. He was not opposed to Eddie Hearn making this announcement. John Fury must know, the same way Tyson Fury must know, that one of these venues is going to say that they're going to get the offer from Eddie Hearn to fight at one of these venues, probably the venue that's going to pay the most money, right, to stage the fight. And eventually they're going to both agree. And it's not going to be really an issue because there's so much money involved that they would be silly, Team Fury, to turn the fight down. And I said a long time ago that Tyson Fury is backed into a corner now, right? And I don't think he ever did really want to fight Joshua. You see, he was hoping that he was probably just like Deontay Wilder. He was very happy, I think, when Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, and he was hoping that Andy Ruiz beat him again. So Tyson Fury, like he's accustomed doing, would then get the easy route to becoming undisputed, you see. And this is what he was hoping. Because you see, you go back to when, as I've said before, when Tyson Fury was making his comeback a few years ago, the first promoter he went to was Eddie Hearn, right? And Eddie Hearn offered him a 4-fight deal, right? I know I've gone over this again. But he said the first fight you can fight whoever you want because you've been out the ring 3 years. The second fight, Tony Bellew. Third fight, Dillian Whyte. And if you get through those 3, you can fight Anthony Joshua at Wembley for all the belts. He said it would be the biggest fight ever staged in England. And Tyson Fury turned it down. He went with Frank Warren, and he opted for Pianetta and Safari, and then he got a backdoor to fight Deontay Wilder. But okay, it was negotiated well by Frank Warren for him to get that shot. But the truth is, if he was so sure that he could beat Joshua, he would take those other fights that Eddie Hearn offered him, because if he would see Joshua as the best, so he must see he could beat Tony Bellew and Dillian Whyte. But he wasn't confident of beating these guys. And he certainly wasn't confident of beating Anthony Joshua. So that's why he turned down Eddie Hearn's deal. But what has happened is he went with Frank Warren, but now we realize that Frank Warren don't have any money. Queensberry is in all kind of problems. In fact, when Tyson Fury loses, that will be probably the end of well, I don't know how much Queensberry will make and Frank Warren will make from this fight as probably co-promoters or what have you. I don't know how it's going to work out. But this is the last thing Frank Warren is holding on to. So Tyson Fury have now realized that Frank Warren don't have any money. This is why he is signed up with Top Rank as well, you see, and Bob Arum, because they have money. But what he didn't realize is also Bob Arum has signed him to this 5-fight deal, and Bob Arum is in favor of the Anthony Joshua fight. And he can't tell Bob Arum he's not going to fight. And he can't tell Top Rank he's not going to take the Joshua fight because he's under contract with them, you see. And that would be a breach of contract. They could sue him for all kinds of money and all this kind of thing. But also, the money generated from the Anthony Joshua fight is so much that while I don't think Fury will win the fight, I think he doesn't want really the fight, but he will take it.
Wow.
Solely for the money.
Wow, bro. That's a real revelation. Do you also know someone just said on the live chat right now, shout out to this guy, he said, let me see. King Kong said, I quote, Billy Joe, listen. King Kong said, I quote, Billy Joe Saunders spoke to Tyson Fury the other day, and Fury told Saunders that the fight won't be until the end of the year. So that basically collide with what you just said right now, bro. Bro, you are a genius, brother. Wow.
Listen, I have followed Tyson Fury. You think it's now I've watched Tyson Fury? Look, I follow that guy. Tyson Fury, right, always looks for the easy way to the top. He doesn't want the smoke with Anthony Joshua. And you see this Joshua now, right, that is fighting now. This is not like the old Joshua. This is this is the thinking Anthony Joshua. This is not the steamroller freight train Anthony Joshua that beat Dillian White and all these other guys. That you see, he learned a hard lesson that night at Madison Square Garden, and it was a good lesson. Even though I was so hurt when he lost that fight. But you see, as the old saying, God works in mysterious ways. The Anthony Joshua that beat Pulev was such a complete fighter that you have to wonder what on earth is Tyson Fury going to bring to this table to beat this kind of Anthony Joshua. Because this Anthony Joshua don't waste punches. He know how to calculate and soften you and get to you. You see, he's not about this guy that's pleasing to the crowd. He will listen to instructions, and it's going to be a hard night for Tyson Fury. And I personally think when they do fight, Tyson Fury is going to be on his bicycle for the whole 12 rounds. And then he's going to say, if he lasts the 12 rounds and hold and do all this kind of thing, then he's going to say, at the end of the 12, I felt I won the fight. Because it's not going to go his way. But he's going to say, I won the fight. I knew they would give it to Joshua. This kind of talk a lot of nonsense. But he will never go into that fight with the intention of winning the fight. Because he knows if he get in range of Anthony Joshua, Joshua is not like Wilder. Joshua have too much in his armory. He know he's going to get hurt, and he know he's going to get stopped. So the only way he wins this fight is to get on his bike. And after the 12 rounds, he's going to lift up his hands and say, oh, I won the fight. Just like what Fury did against, who is that guy? Was it
Joseph Parker.
Yeah, was it Parker he fought?
Yeah. When he fought on his back foot, thinking he won the fight.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what as long as the fight go 12 rounds, he's gonna say, oh, I knew they would give it. I know it's conspiracy. I know it's Eddie Hearn. But the truth is, he know he can't beat Joshua. He know he can't stand in front of Joshua. He know he can't do what he did to Wilder to Joshua. It would never work, you see. But this is their plan, to contradict, to do all this kind of thing. And as the fight gets nearer, you will see more of this. More contradiction, more denials, more this, more that. Because, to be honest with you, they know. You see, I don't think Tyson Fury thought that his career would go down this path. He thought he would stick with Frank Warren. He thought he would fight Deontay Wilder 2, 3, 4 times and then, keep calling out Anthony Joshua, but with no intention of fighting him. He didn't think that Frank Warren didn't have little money and that he would have to sign with Bob Arum. And you see, when Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum talk, I know they don't come across like they like each other. At the end of the day, they like money. And he didn't realize that Bob Arum would be so in favor of this fight. And Bob Arum is very keen on this fight, you see. So what does Tyson Fury do? He signed a 5-fight, I believe, or I think it's 5 fights with Top Rank. He's had, I don't know how many he's had, but he has to take this one because there's so much money involved. But anyway, let John Fury talk. You can expect the whole Fury family to talk. You can expect Paris, his wife, to talk. Everybody's going to talk from that family. But let's wait till they get in the ring. and see how this goes.
Before we continue, before I ask another question, we have to, of course, take a look at the interview again. Okay, I mean, there are so many things that can really be taken out. Like, I mean, I don't know in what context John Fury made it, but for me, it sounds like it sounds like the guy is scared. You know, in a way, like he's scared.
Of course.
Anyway, bro,
Because
let's take a look at it. Then you continue, bro. Let's take a look at it again. You know,
Okay.
because we have to. Can you meet it, brother?
Okay. Yeah, let me meet it.
Thanks.
The job sort, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date. We need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sort, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson is not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking. But I think they're dragging reels a bit because they don't want it. Don't blame them.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it,
What
right?
does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue?
Mire, bro, Mire, I beg.
You know, what does it mean?
Ah,
If nobody's
okay.
willing to put the money up. You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that the position in your eyes
That's
at the
the
moment?
position it's in, and I don't think they can get it together. Need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson is not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking. But I think they're dragging reels a bit because they don't want it. Don't blame them.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it,
What
right?
does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue? You know, what does it mean if nobody's willing to put the money up? You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that the position in your eyes
That's
at the
the
moment?
position it's in, and I don't think they can get it together. It's too big for what's happening and the climate the world's in at the moment. And I just don't think the time is right for a fight of that magnitude with the state of the world at the minute.
Well, in my opinion, I'm not a body language expert. Okay, I cannot tell you that. Oh, I know about this, but my interpretation of this interview is that John Fury is scared. He said, "My son will fight with and without Anthony Joshua." That is being like that's you can see that he sees Joshua as a scary monster. Okay, and if of course when can I say if or when? Let me say when Tyson Fury get beat by the unified heavyweight king of the universe, Anthony Joshua, I don't know how John Fury will feel because they've been holding on to that undefeated record for a very long time right now. Fury, on the other hand, will say, "Oh, I'm not training, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that." But his recent picture with Joseph Parker indicates that this guy is training, not only training, ready for a fight. Okay, I don't know if it's against Anthony Joshua or against someone else. According to his dad, my son will fight this year twice with or without Anthony Joshua. Bro, this is Tyson Fury right here with Joseph Parker. We know Joseph Parker is in Ireland right now training with Andy Lee. Okay, that's his new trainer, and Fury is there. So what does that indicate, bro? Are you not seeing are you seeing the contradiction right here, bro? Robbie T.
Listen, of course, because look, I said in the last time we spoke, I think it was, I said, look, Tyson Fury is backed into a corner now. There's no way out of this. There's no way he can pull out of this fight, you know. Really. If you think about it, they can't pull out of this fight because too many people want to see this fight and there's too much money involved. But they know they can't win the fight.
These cowboys.
And reality, the closer this gets, right, the reality is setting in
No venue,
of
no
what
nothing.
is ahead of them. They know they can't beat Joshua. They know they can't beat Joshua. And this is what the reality is setting in, you see. This is why John Fury is talking, because he knows his son is going to get beat. However you want to look at it, his son is going to lose his undefeated record. And that's the only thing they've been holding on to, you see. And it must be very hard for them, because all the money in the world, because the only thing they don't know is how he's going to lose. But they know he's going to lose. But they're just hoping above all hope that it's not by brutal KO. Because you see, the way Anthony Joshua fights now, listen, this is not a joke, you know. And Tyson Fury knows it's not a joke. He can talk all this BS about, I'm a gypsy man, I'm a fighting man, not a man born from a woman can beat me, all this kind of thing. You can talk that maybe if you're fighting Dillian White or Joseph Parker. Anthony Joshua is a different breed from these fighters. He's much better than them, you see. And Tyson Fury knows this, you see. If he was, as I said earlier, if he was so confident, right, of beating Joshua, he would have taken those other fights that Eddie Hearn offered him and got all the paydays, right, and then fought Joshua and taken Joshua's belts. But he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that. He avoided Joshua then, but now he's been cornered into fighting Joshua. This is never what Tyson Fury would have wanted for himself. He thought he would come back, and under Frank Warren, the Joshua fight would never get made. But it has been made. And you see, when Eddie Hearn comes up with the venue now, even more pressure. Even more pressure. I hope John Fury takes his medication, you know, because you see, when this fight now is when Eddie Hearn comes out and says, right, these are the venues, especially if Eddie Hearn, well, Bob Arum would know, right? Because if they interview Bob Arum and Bob Arum starts talking, right, and then Eddie Hearn starts talking, then Fury, there's no way Fury can't really accept these venues. Because people will look at him like a joke. They'll say, how come you've turned down all these millions and millions to fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship? He would never be able to turn it down. But you see, with that comes the reality and the knowing that, yes, I've accepted the fight. Yes, I've got a chance because, you know, anything can happen. But reality, I know I've got no chance. And I know I'm going to lose. That's a hard thing to come to terms with. And John Fury is no fool. John Fury knows his son's going to lose. And he's going to have to watch him lose. Imagine how hard that must be. You see, John Fury is thinking this even from now. Oh my God, I'm going to have to sit and watch my son lose. And I think it's because John Fury must be thinking, my son's going to get knocked out here. This is why you see...
Wow, Robbie T!
This is
man, kudos to you, brother. Kudos to you, brother. You're a genius, bro.
listen. This is why you see, but no, Ray, in all honesty, this is why you see Shelley Finkel and all these guys, Al Heyman, Deontay Wilder, they made up all kind of lies. Deontay Wilder was, you know what? Listen, Deontay Wilder was a cool guy, you know. He was a cool guy until that night he went to Wembley with Shelley Finkel to watch Anthony Joshua beat Vladimir Klitschko. And that changed Deontay Wilder forever. From that day to now, Deontay Wilder never want no part of Anthony Joshua. He saw the man get up from the deck and beat the guy who caused Deontay all kind of problems, even in sparring.
He knocked him out in sparring.
And knocked him out, yes. Dillian White was there. And Andy Lee was there. They saw it, you see. And, you know, from that day on, all you ever got from Wilder was excuses. Excuses and lies and all this kind of thing. Saying they never got no offers. They never got no offers. Eddie Hearn's lying. Eddie Hearn don't want the fight. And then Wilder himself slipped up a few months ago when Fury said he would never fight him. And then Wilder came out and said, oh, well, I thought you were a man of your word. I didn't have to give you a shot. I got offered more money from Matchroom to fight Joshua, but I turned it down to fight you. And you see, now previously he said he hadn't even got no offers from Eddie Hearn. Shelley Finkel said they hadn't got no offers. So where did this come from? You see, they didn't want the Joshua fight because they know Joshua's a different breed. You see,
bro, you're spitting nothing but facts. We have our brother right here, Adewale, who is a Deontay Wilder fan. Okay, he might want to counter it as well, but continue, bro. I am loving it.
Listen, at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, right? I had nothing against Wilder. Look, let me just say this, right? When Deontay Wilder came on the scene, he looked very heavy-handed, and he looked like he's knocking these guys out. And
hold on, bro. Hold on. Lisa Bells. Get order for your Rafa Akpejere t-shirt. I'm wearing. You see this I'm wearing right now. Let me show it. You know, Rafa Akpejere t-shirt right here. You know, this is the next heavyweight king, the Nigerian flag here. So order yours now. Order yours, Lisa Bells. If you want to order it, for those of you guys who want to order it, write me on Instagram right now. You know, at Boxing Block Center. You know, write me on there. Continue, brother. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I said no. That's fine. I said when Deontay Wilder came on the scene, right? He looked like he was very, very heavy-handed. He didn't before he fought Bermain Stavern for the title back in 2015, I think it was. Prior to that fight, he was knocking everyone out. He went the 12 rounds with Stavern, but he well won the 12 rounds. And then after that, he continued knocking people out. And he looked very heavy-handed. And I said, wow, this is exciting to watch. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is going to be exciting because this guy will surely go on to be at least unified and be involved in some very good fights. But you see, this is what happened. I don't know. We hear stories of training camp with Klitschko. And now it's surfacing that Klitschko had already stopped him. Twice, in fact, in sparring. Now, we didn't see this, right? We didn't see any evidence that Deontay Wilder's chin was shaky. We didn't know this because all we saw was him knocking people out. But behind the scenes, Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, JD's, even Mark Breland to some extent, you would say, they would have seen this. And the last thing they would want to expose him to would be a guy like Anthony Joshua, who is very heavy-handed, just like him. And this is why you see the excuses started happening. It wasn't because they didn't get no offers. It's because they knew there was a chink in Wilder's armory. The man had over 30-odd fights before he challenged Stavern for that title, you know. Joshua had 15 fights before he challenged Charles Martin. So, you know, Deontay Wilder had been around a long time before Joshua, you see. But you see, they know behind the scenes that Wilder's makeup was shaky. And they knew that if he got in the ring with Joshua, it would be terrible for him. And we didn't expect it in the way it happened, but we see what happened in the Fury fight. Now, with Anthony Joshua now, they tried to avoid him. And when he got the title back, everything it went back to the same way it was before. People start making excuses and, you know, they start criticizing, but they don't really want to fight the guy. You know, they saw what happened in Madison Square Gardens with Anthony Joshua. So then it should be easy to get Fury in the ring. You see, it should be easy but believe me, they don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that.
You know, Rizino came out recently saying that he wants to get his belts back. You know, saying he wants to get his belts back in his in his recent video on his channel. He said he wants to get his belts back. He got depressed after Joshua defeated him in Saudi Arabia in 2019. I want to get my belts back. You know, I'm the new Andre Jr. But what do you make of that statement, by the way, before you?
All right. Yeah, I'm sure. You see, another thing here, right? He said he got depressed after Anthony Joshua beat him. I'm sure. You see, Andy Ruiz is thinking back to Madison Square Gardens where he beat Anthony Joshua. He's not thinking of how that victory actually happened, what was happening prior and what was going on with Anthony Joshua, how Andy Ruiz himself even come about to get that title shot. And he's not thinking of all the messing about that. Let me just break, I know I don't want to bore people listening to this, but let me just break this down to you, right? When the first person after, oh dear, look, when Dillian Whyte fought Derek Chisora in the rematch, the agreement was that the winner of that fight, they both agreed, and I've heard Derek Chisora say this in an interview, right? They both agreed that the winner of that fight, right, would fight Anthony Joshua for the unified heavyweight belts, and that was agreed. After Dillian Whyte beat Derek Chisora, they made him an offer of 5 million, right? 5 million UK pounds, and Dillian Whyte
that should be 7 million US dollars, right?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
It's 7 million US dollars. Correct. Well pointed, because that is exactly the amount that Andy Ruiz Jr. got paid for the Joshua fight. But let me go back to the Dillian Whyte fight, because it's very important. This timeline of events is very important to what went on at Madison Square Gardens when Andy Ruiz Jr. eventually, when Anthony Joshua eventually fought Andy Ruiz Jr. Let's go back just quickly. I'll just break it down quickly. When Dillian Whyte fought Derek Chisora, the agreement was the winner would fight Anthony Joshua for the unified heavyweight championship of the world. And Derek Chisora agreed to that, and Dillian Whyte agreed to that. When Dillian Whyte knocked out Derek Chisora in the 11th round, right? They made him an offer. Eddie Hearn thought, well, yes, this is the fight. It's a rematch of the previous fight, and they made Dillian Whyte an offer of 5 million UK pounds, 7 million UK dollars. And Dillian Whyte turned down the offer, and he said in interviews this was a low ball offer, and he did not accept the offer, right? I heard Barry Hearn say that Dillian Whyte should have accepted the offer. But you see, Dillian Whyte too knows he can't beat Joshua. That's the first fight that fell apart. They then went to Big Baby Miller, right? In America, they said, well, okay, Dillian Whyte don't want to fight. He's turned down the offer. Let's see if we can make a fight overseas. They went to Big Baby Miller, right? And that fight was signed. Big Baby Miller was making a load of noise. He seemed up for it. And Anthony Joshua seemed like he was up for this fight too. And it was all set to go. What happened? Big Baby Miller got busted on PEDs. That fight fell apart. That's opponent number 2 that have fallen apart for Joshua. They then went, after that, to Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz was after that, and he got an offer, I think, of the same 5 million, which is $7 million, right? They asked, and then Eddie Hearn couldn't hear back from Luis Ortiz's people. They asked Luis Ortiz what happened with the offer. Why isn't he accepting it to fight Joshua? He said he never received an offer. He said Eddie Hearn is lying. They never made me no offer. It then turned out from Luis Ortiz's people that they did receive the offer. When Eddie Hearn started to draw out emails and draw out correspondence, they did receive the email. They did receive the offer, but they didn't want the fight because they know Joshua would have beaten him. That's 3 opponents so far, right, that Joshua wanted that he couldn't get. So the 4th one now, as a large diss attempt, right, was Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, a guy with a career going nowhere, right? They threw him the same 5 million, right? And he never see 5 million in his life. And he knew under Al Heyman he would never get an offer like that, right? So they accepted the offer, but the Anthony Joshua that fought Andy Ruiz Jr. that night was a very unmotivated fighter because he'd seen 3 previous good opponents cancel on him, shall we say. And he was unmotivated. You could see on his ring walk, you could see he was unmotivated. And he was probably in shock the when Andy Ruiz decided to fire back, and he just couldn't motivate himself mentally for the fight, and he lost. So Andy Ruiz Jr. is still thinking he beat the real AJ. Now you see, this is a deception and a delusion on this guy's part, because whenever they fight again, if they ever fight again, he's gonna get the same thing is gonna happen again. He's gonna lose. And this time it's probably going to be very bad for him, because you see, he couldn't believe the way Joshua came into the fight, very disciplined, boxing for 12 rounds. Andy Ruiz couldn't even win a round. And that's not a Joshua that let his punches go. All he did was box, and Andy Ruiz couldn't get near him. So imagine Joshua was to box and let some punches go. What would happen to Andy Ruiz? Andy Ruiz really need to keep quiet, and stay in his car lane. Stay in the lane that you're in, my friend. Go after Dillian White. Go after Joseph Parker and Brian Jennings and these other guys. Fight those people. But don't go after Anthony Joshua. You think you fought the real Joshua that night. My friend, you fought nowhere near the Anthony Joshua that we know. And the Joshua that exists now, it would be very poor matchmaking to put him in with that guy. That's what I have to say on this.
So, bro, you did, bro, you broke it down excellently, brother.
Man.
Bravo. And I must say, man, 3-point handshake for you, man. You too much.
Man.
You too much, bro.
This is the truth. You see, people don't want to talk. You see, look, I don't want to go off the subject, but just briefly, right? You see, people don't nowadays. If you let things lie for a long while, people tend to forget. They tend to not bring up stuff, and then after a while, they don't. But this is the series of timelines that happened with Anthony Joshua leading up to that defeat. He was unmotivated. All the good fights that he wanted kept falling through. Deontay Wilder kept making excuses not to fight him, and he really wanted that Deontay Wilder fight. He really wanted that belt. You see, one thing, let me just, because I know other people want to talk, just one thing I want to say. Dillian White fought recently, and I don't want to take anything away from Dillian White. But you see, as I said, sometimes when you let time pass, people tend to forget and not bring up stuff, and then it just gets swept under the carpet. But Dillian White, when he fought Oscar Rivas, right? After I think just before the Oscar Rivas fight, or I think it was just before, just after, there was something, they said something irregular turned up in Dillian White's sample that he gave. This is truth. This is not me criticizing. This is what happened around and that Oscar Rivas fight, okay? And I'm not sure, but I think he was suspended while they investigated. And after a while, the board came back, UCAD came back and said, we find nothing, that Dillian White did no wrong, and he's now in the clear. But the thing is, when something irregular is found in your sample, they do two tests. They test the A sample and they test the B sample. The same thing they did with Big Baby Miller, the same thing they did with Povetkin, all the people who have taken drugs and got caught. You understand? They test both samples and they make known what happened with both samples, right? But with Dillian White, all we got was a message from UCAD and from the board that this guy, has done, we find no wrongdoing, and now he's cleared to fight. We never did find out. We never got any sort of statement about the B sample. What happened to the B sample? What happened to the findings of the B sample? Was that clear as well? Was that positive or negative? We don't know. No one ever says this kind of thing.
Where nobody likes, nobody's talking about the B sample anymore, bro. Like even,
but I know.
Joy's mom came into the show the other day and basically talked about the B sample, and she was also, I was like, oh, honey, like I just forgot about that as well. Like, oh my God, man.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
I mean, I also heard this White Povetkin, they didn't do water testing for the bout. There was no valid testing.
They-
Is it
No, there
true?
was no. I don't know. But
That's
I
what I,
heard
that's
that
what I,
myself.
that's what I heard. They said there's no valid testing.
Yeah,
If
there's
that's the
no
case,
valid testing.
and maybe you should
No,
continue.
it was
Let me check.
verified.
Let me check it out. Was there
Yeah.
valid testing for the fight? Adewale?
It was clarified. Yes, there was.
There was. Okay. All right.
There was.
Okay,
Oh, there
that's
was
cool.
that SSC. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. But you see, it would still have been good to know what happened with the B sample after the Oscar Rivas fight, but we don't know. Now, you see, another thing you see with Dillian White, he split from his trainer Mark Tibbs. All right, it's his business why he's the trainer, but the excuses he was making, you say, oh, Mark Tibbs has a young family, Mark don't want to travel, and this kind of thing, and he never did say why he split. But it's funny how Dillian White is based in Portugal, right? And now Mark Tibbs, who don't want to travel, is out in Spain training Billy Joe Saunders. So if he didn't want to travel, how come he's out in Spain, which is next door to Portugal, training Billy Joe Saunders? Why would he not have gone out to Portugal and trained Dillian White? So something else have gone on there, you see, and we're not getting the truth. But anyway, that's just my little take.
Well, something is really fishy right here. Anyway,
I'm telling you.
let's get our brother in Adewale before we come. Adewale, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, bro, I'm good, man.
Can you remove it on Bluetooth, bro? Like, I beg.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, bro. So what do you make of the side D, bro? You know, Diana said that it's gonna be locked in this week, and we've heard that Eddie Hearn is gonna be traveling to the Middle East this week as well.
Hey man, I think it's a good news for everybody. You know, even though I still want Deontay to get his chance at the trilogy, but if that doesn't happen, Joshua Fury is an excellent fight. So it's a very, very good fight as well. They better make it happen. They should make sure they did not swerve us fans of the Wilder Joshua and then Fury Joshua. That would be bad because boxing is currently sliding down. Since the best don't fight the best. So I think it's a great news, man.
Okay, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And what do you make of Tyson Fury's dad saying that, nothing is concrete yet as long as, there is no date and no venue and all those stuff? Do you think Fury's dad is scared?
Man, I don't see any reason why the Fury camp should be scared of fighting Joshua. Because I mean, Fury is the champion. He's a fighting man. He has a big fighting pedigree. He's been fighting since he was a kid. He knocked out Deontay Wilder. He beat Vladimir Klitschko. He has a long resume. There is no
What
reason
resume?
why-
I mean, two good fights on his record or what? What do you mean long resume?
Yeah, those two good fights are a good enough resume. The Vladimir Klitschko win and the Deontay Wilder win. And draw. He drew Deontay Wilder for the first time after having been off for 2 years, coming back, fighting two tomato plants, and was still able to hold Wilder for 12 rounds. Highly commendable, you know. I think Tyson Fury is a very good fighter.
Yeah.
And I really believe that he
Okay.
cheated in
Mao, Joe, please mute it, bro. I beg. Mute it, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Continue, bro.
Okay, so as I was saying, I genuinely believe he cheated against Deontay Wilder in the rematch, but that doesn't take away the fact that he's a great fighter. Tyson Fury is a very good fighter. I respect what he has done in his career, but I don't respect him as a cheat. However, I don't see any reason why he should be afraid.
What evidence do you
How
have
did
that
he
he
cheat?
cheated? What's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Come on, man. Where's the evidence? So you want to tell me a fighter as big as Wilder and his team in PBC
Let me
and
tell
all
you
of
the
those guys
evidence.
would
Let
have
me
an
answer your
evidence and they
question.
wouldn't take him to court for it? Come on, man.
The evidence that I saw with my own two eyes, not that I heard from Wilder or from anybody else.
You're
But
not
from
part of the
video-
team, though.
The
You're not part of the
no,
team.
everybody. If you as the fan took your time to look for what I looked for, You will see it, but you chose not to. That's why you're refusing to.
No, but how did he cheat? How did he cheat? Tell me
I don't want to try to mute it. Try to mute it because you know it's echoing, bro, on your side, on your end. Try to mute it. So
Can I just come in? Can I come in real
yeah, come in. You guys should mute it. Let it come in quick.
I
was
won't
gonna
take your
wait
time.
for-
I promise. I won't take your
Okay,
time.
wait.
I won't take your
Mel Joe, mute it. Let Adewale do it quick. We have 10 minutes to go. We have 10 minutes to go. So let's get it.
I'm only going to take 1 minute. And I'm done.
Okay, let 10
All I'm
minutes to go.
saying is, I don't want to elongate this conversation around the cheating situation. If you choose not to see what happened, fine. If you choose to see what happened, fine, no problem.
But tell us how he cheated though. We want to know how he cheated. That's what I'll say. If you saw him cheated, how did he cheat?
I was explaining. You guys were cutting me off, bro.
Let him explain.
Tell us.
Let him explain. Let him explain.
The second fight, where the right glove of Tyson Fury did not look like it had enough padding. If you deny that you've seen that, then that's on you, bro. I know what I see with my 2 eyes. I'm not going to deny what I see. See, listen, you can deny what you hear. You can deny any evidence. But if you deny what you see, then that's left to you. But as far as Tyson Fury being afraid of Anthony Joshua, I really don't see any reason why. Joshua is a great fighter as well. And I will be rooting for Joshua if that Joshua's head off, period.
Thanks, brother. Mao Joe, yeah, come in.
Okay. Right. I don't even know where to start. We've only got.
Mute it. Adewale, mute on your hand. I beg.
Okay.
I'm just going to quickly address the issue of these accusations of Tyson Fury cheating. Do I trust Tyson Fury as a guy? No. Do I believe that he has cheated in the past? Maybe. But my view is, if you don't have a clear evidence, so you want to tell me that there was something wrong with his padding. So all of the guys on Wilder's team, none of them would be able to see any of these things and take a proper action against Fury. You trying to tell me that? I truly don't. I don't believe in all of that. Listen, let's put it this way. Wilder is a great fighter, okay? On the night, he wasn't the best. He lost on the night. And maybe in the future, if they have another fight, you never know. It might be Fury. It might knock Fury out in 30 seconds. You just never know. But on the night, listen, he was decimated, man. He was beaten. He was beaten to a pulp. So let's just leave it that way. In terms of all this cheating and all of that, I don't believe in that.
Thanks,
they're
brother.
being caught right now if they've got evidence for that. That's the truth.
Okay, bro. Thanks. Muted. Robbie T, we have like 7 minutes left. Close it, bro. Close the show with some wisdom, bro.
Look. At the end of the day, Tyson Fury didn't cheat against Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder lost to the better man. Okay, when Tyson Fury's hands were being wrapped, right, in the dressing room before the fight, it's customary that somebody from the other team will be in your dressing room when your hands are being wrapped. So when Tyson Fury hands were being wrapped for the fight, his left hand and his right hand, and when the gloves were being put on, right, JD's was in the room with the commissioner from the Las Vegas State Athletic Commission, right? They were all there watching, and they saw nothing wrong, and they signed off the hand wraps and the gloves. When the gloves are chosen, the Las Vegas Commission take those gloves and they're locked away. You can't get to those gloves, right? So this notion that Fury cheated is an absolute madness. And Wilder and his people need to stop saying that. They're discrediting the man. They're making the man look stupid, man. Because if JD's was in the room, well, I'll tell you what then. If there was something wrong with Tyson Fury's gloves and his hand wraps, and JD sat in the room while that was being done and said nothing, he need to fire JD's and sue JD's. But the truth is, JD said nothing because there was nothing to say. Man, you lost the fight. Be a man and say you lost the fight. And the only reason that we're not getting this trilogy is because of Deontay Wilder and his stupidity. He had a contract that had the rematch clause for the trilogy in that contract, and they let the contract expire. Why do you think Tyson Fury is allowed to fight Anthony Joshua? without honoring that contract, because there is no contract. The contract is null and void now. And they were the ones, Wilder and his people were the ones who drew up the contract. And they let the contract day expire, and now we have no trilogy. Unless, of course, Anthony Joshua, after he beat Fury, want to give Deontay Wilder a shot. But you can't blame anyone but Wilder and his people. And he needs to fire those people around him, because the contract was the one thing he had that would have secured and made sure legally Tyson Fury had to fight him next. But they have no contract. The contract date expired, and now this is why Anthony Joshua is fighting him.
Thanks, brother. I really do appreciate it. So, guys, I wanna say, hey, I don't want to mute time. So I wanna really say thanks to all of you guys who joined me. I mean, I appreciate it. More than 100 people watching, and it's amazing to have you guys here. So I will just say one thing before I leave. Tyson Fury, I don't know if he cheated. I'm not gonna, say he did it or he didn't, but I don't know if he did it because J. Diaz was, of course, in a dressing room and he saw it. He saw his hands being wrapped, all those kind of stuff. And it's America. Anything you do in the hiding tends to get out. It's not in the UK where you say, "Oh, he's in his home soil now. He can do whatever he wants." Even in the UK, it's not easy at all. But you have to understand that Fury has a history of, so many things. We know the boar meat. We know already the farmer was shot down by Team Fury, paid a lot of money, to shut his mouth and all those things. We all know that will happen. But I'm just saying that, listen, I just hope Team Joshua, when this fight happens, Team Joshua they have to have cameras everywhere. They have to have spies, everywhere, monitoring everything that's going on and how everything is going on. So that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So, guys, get your Rafa Akpejere t-shirt right now. Okay, order it. Rafa Akpejere t-shirt right here. Especially if you're a Nigerian or a Pan-African, you get it right here. God bless you all. Cheers, guys. God bless you all.